Folks, thanks for joining us. We're going to take you through a little demonstration of alerts, warning, and notifications. We'll cover what are alerts, what are warnings, what are notifications, and how some of these features combine with other CSnet features and records so that you can have a think about this as part of the design and input to the types of questions you might have for us as we take you through this. Okay, what's an alert? An alert is a system-generated notification. It's designed to assist workers to manage risks, tasks coming up, tasks that are overdue, and to prioritise work in an activity. So it might be key dates, events, tasks. The alerts show us the bell icon and the three colours you can choose from when we configure alerts for you are green, orange, and red. You'll see here the little number, so you can see the icon is the bell, and the number on the bell is the number of alerts outstanding and the links to the activity. You can see here there's a little screenshot of Lily Lapsong's case here, and her 3 alerts are showing on the activity quick view. Alerts are configured by CSnet with your input. They can show things like dates approaching, dates due, overdue, linked to fields on a plan, action, or process task, on a client or an activity date field. It can also show something that's not done or needs to be followed up, like one session type might trigger the need for another session follow-up. You could have a measurement instrument, like a survey, that needs to be completed within a selected period of time. It might be, I haven't created a survey in this activity since commencement date of 3 months. Or we want to run a survey every 12 months. There's been no survey in the past 12 months. There's also an alert which raises the DEX integration if there's an error that needs to be fixed. And there's a little screenshot of the way that the alerts show up under that little bell. How do I remove an alert? So because alerts are system generated by CSnet, it means the user has to do something in the system to remove the alert. They can't just automatically lapse if the user wants to acknowledge it or wants to turn it off or just basically wants to ignore it. It has to be something that the worker does. Now, the interesting thing about the triggers for the alert to go on is also the trigger to turn the alert off. So, for example, you need to change the due date on the field or the plan action, or create a new date in future for the alert to go off, or take the date out altogether, remove the date, and the alert will be removed. If your alert is linked to a session, then create another session to record the action that's been taken, and then the alert will be removed. Or create a new measurement instrument that says this is overdue for completion. Importantly, there's an audit trail which shows changes to alerts in the system, and a report can be run to show all alerts. CSnet updates alerts every 10 minutes. What's a warning? A warning is for the workers to assist them to raise awareness for all workers, to know that there are specific risks, conditions, or attributes relating to the client and participant. So instead of the alert sits on the activity, whereas the warning sits on the client or participant. It's a little triangle, and the warning triangle will show on the client or participant in family record and in all activities when the client is added. So if that person is in some individual support activities and in groups, then the warning goes with the client wherever they are. Same thing, 3 colours, green, orange, red. The warnings can be configured by the organisation, by workers who have the authority and security permissions to do so. The warnings can be configured to show a risk and a level that's been assessed by using the colour codes, an action that should or shouldn't be considered for the client or participant, and text can show on the warning if needed. More than one warning can be added and managed on the client or participant. You can see here there's a little screenshot where there are 2 warnings that are showing for this particular client participant. The use of warnings is not intended to be a replacement for detailed records, case notes, risk assessments and plans. It should complement that work that you do and the detailed records that you make in relation to that particular client participant. How do I add or remove a warning? Warnings are added and removed manually by workers who have the right authority and security permissions. There's permissions to add a warning and there's permissions to remove a warning. So those permissions might be different for different workers. When you add a warning, you have to add a reason for the warning. And the warning can be set to display as text. So you can see an example here in the screenshot. The name is do not disclose address, and it will display in that way. To remove a warning, the user must save a removal reason, and that creates a record, an audit trail on screen, and as well as in a report of all warnings when they're added and removed. It'll say who added or removed the warning, when, and the reasons. CSnet updates the display of warnings on the client or participant as soon as they are saved. Notifications. What's a notification? It's a quick message to a worker on an activity. It's like an internal email to another team member, and it's visible in CSnet. It's sent from the activity quick view or inside the activity. And you can see here there's a little screenshot of the envelope which showing that there's a notification and the number, that there's 17 notifications that I can see, because either it's directed to me or it's directed to the team in which I'm in. The notifications are not generally considered part of the client participant record that needs to be retained for the activity history. However, you will be able to see all of the notifications until they're acknowledged, and down the track you'll have a record and a report of all the notifications that have been created and who acknowledged those to remove them. You can click on that little envelope icon to see all of the notifications, such as you can see in that screenshot. Notifications are on the activity quick view, so you can see that from the activity quick view. Notifications that have been created, and you can also see there, you can click on the add new notification from the quick view. The worker chooses a team member from the drop-down list, and they can add a little message. So you can see how it's important to link up the teams to that activity if you want to be able to use the notifications. All of the team members will see the message. So it means if somebody gets gone away or they're not available to see that message on that particular day, the other team members will see the notification and somebody can respond. How do I remove a notification? It can be removed from showing in the activity quick view by either the principal worker on the activity or the worker who the notification was sent to. The worker can acknowledge the notification at a quick view screen showing that you click on the acknowledgement, and a report can be run that shows the audit trail of all notifications acknowledged, when and by who. There are lots of features in CSnet that can be used in combination to achieve what you need, either to give open access to information or restrict information between workers and across teams. Some of these examples might include restricted activity types, which limit the visibility of an activity type and case notes to a team or group of workers, and this might be used due to the sensitivity and the risks associated with that particular information or type of support. Access controls in CSnet can restrict a specific worker from being able to search and find a client participant due to a conflict of interest. And client history views can be configured to display all or some details of participation or case notes across security groups and teams by an area of interest, depending on what information needs to be quickly accessible in a single screen. Talk to CSnet about what you want to achieve and we will advise you about the options. I'm just going to pause here for a minute and take you through a little demo to share some screens.